Anna stood by her window. Rain fell outside. Her wedding dress hung nearby. Tomorrow, her life would change forever. She touched the fabric. It felt cold, like her mother's heart, like her future. But this story begins with shame. Anna was born different. Her left leg was weak. She walked with a limp. In her rich home, this made her a target. Every morning, the same pain. Her mother's voice cut deep. "Walk straight, Anna. You look weak. You shame our name." Her father barely looked at her. When he did, his eyes showed disgust. What use is a broken daughter? Who will want damaged goods? Her sisters laughed behind fans. They called her the cripple when mother wasn't listening. Her brothers turned away when she entered rooms. Anna learned to hide. She stayed in corners. She spoke softly. She tried to make herself small. But small was never small enough. One morning, everything changed. Her father called her to his study. His face was stone. His words were sharp. "You will marry, Anna. You have no choice in this matter." Anna's heart stopped. Marriage? But who would want her? Then came the punishment disguised as arrangement. Lord James needs a wife. He is rich, yes, but he lives far from here, far from civilized society. Her mother smiled coldly. People call him strange. Anna, some say he's cursed. But beggars cannot choose, can they? Anna felt the room spin. They weren't giving her a husband. They were throwing her away. "Send her off," her father said. "End our shame. Let her be his burden now." That night Anna cried until no tears came. Then something hardened inside her. Her eyes went dry. Her jaw set firm. She had no choice. She would obey. But she would not break. Tomorrow her real life would begin. James stood on his castle wall. The wind was cold. His heart was colder. The town below whispered about him. Always whispers, always fear. Lord James lost his family young. They said, war took everything from him. Now he guards his land like a wolf guards its den. Some called him a beast. Others called him cursed. Children ran when they saw his tall, dark figure. But the truth was different. James remembered being 8 years old. He remembered the screams, the fire, the blood on his father's hands, before enemies cut him down. He built walls after that, stone walls around his castle, stronger walls around his heart. Love meant loss, trust meant pain. So he chose neither. When Anna's father offered marriage, James agreed. Not for love, never for love. For peace between their houses, for duty, for the end of old wars. But deep inside, something stirred. Hope, maybe. Curiosity. He had heard she was flawed, broken. They said, cast aside by her own blood. Perhaps a broken girl might understand a broken man. Perhaps two damaged souls could find something real together. He didn't dare say this out loud. He barely let himself think it. But when he signed the marriage papers, his hand didn't shake. For the first time in years, Lord James smiled. The coach wheels crunched on gravel. Anna's heart hammered against her ribs. Through the small window, she saw grey stone towers. Cold, imposing, like a prison. The coach stopped. The door opened. This was it. Anna stepped out slowly. Her weak leg made her careful, made her graceful in a strange way. But she expected laughter. She expected disgust. Instead, silence. A tall man walked toward her. His hair was dark. His shoulders were broad. His face was serious, but not cruel. Anna braced herself. Here comes the rejection, she thought. Here comes the regret. But James stopped 3 feet away. He bowed, actually bowed. His voice was deep, but gentle. "Welcome, Anna. I am James, your husband." Anna stared. Where was the anger? Where was the disappointment when he saw her limp? She started, then stopped. Words felt dangerous. "You must be tired," James said. "The journey was long. Come, let me show you inside." He walked slowly. Slower than a lord needed to walk. Anna realized he was matching her pace. He was waiting for her. The great hall was vast. Tapestries covered stone walls. A fire crackled in a huge fireplace. It should have been warm, but Anna felt cold inside. "This is your home now," James said. He didn't say our home, he said your home, like he was giving it to her. I looked around. No sneering faces, no whispered jokes, just quiet. "I won't hurt you," James said suddenly. His voice was soft. "I want you to know that. I won't force anything. You're safe here." Anna's eyes widened. Safe? When had she ever been safe? "Thank you," she whispered. It was all she could manage. James nodded. "Mrs. Helen will show you to your room. Rest. We can talk tomorrow." As Anna followed the kind housekeeper up stone stairs, she looked back once. James stood by the fire watching her go. His face was sad, lonely. For the first time, Anna wondered what had hurt him so deeply. The first week was quiet, too quiet. Anna woke each morning in a huge bed. Sunlight streamed through tall windows. No one shouted at her. No one mocked her walk. No one called her useless. It felt wrong, like waiting for thunder after lightning. But James kept his word. He was gentle, patient. When they ate together, he asked simple questions. "Did you sleep well? Is your room warm enough? What would you like to do today?" Anna answered carefully. She watched for traps in his words, but there were none. After breakfast, James worked with his steward. Anna explored the castle. Slowly, carefully. Her leg made stairs hard, but no one rushed her. In the kitchen, she found something wonderful. Herbs, spices, fresh bread baking. Can I help?" she asked Mrs. Helen. The housekeeper smiled. "Of course, my lady. Do you like to cook?" Anna nodded. At home, cooking was servant work. But here it felt like freedom. Her hands moved with skill. She made soup that tasted like sunshine, bread that smelled like heaven. Simple meals, but made with care, James noticed. At dinner, he ate slowly. He closed his eyes when he tasted her cooking. "This is wonderful," he said. "You have a gift, Anna. A gift." Anna felt warmth spread through her chest. When had anyone called anything about her a gift? Days became routine. Anna cooked. She mended clothes with neat, small stitches. She walked in the garden, tending herbs that grew wild. The servants began to smile when they saw her. They asked for her help with small things. They called her my lady with real respect. James watched it all. He said little, but his eyes were kind. When Anna limped through the halls, he never stared, never pitied. He just accepted. For the first time in her life, Anna felt useful, valued, maybe even wanted. It was a dangerous feeling, but it was growing stronger every day. 3 weeks into her new life, Anna made a discovery. She was walking in the herb garden when she heard crying. A kitchen maid sat on a stone bench, holding her hand. Blood seeped between her fingers. "What happened?" Anna asked. Cut myself on a knife, my lady. It won't stop bleeding. Anna looked at the girl's hand, then at the herbs around her. She remembered things. Old knowledge her grandmother had whispered. Wait here, Anna said. She picked certain leaves, crushed them between stones, made a paste that smelled clean and sharp. This might sting, she warned. Then pressed the mixture to the cut. The bleeding stopped. The girl's eyes went wide. How did you... That's magic, my lady. Not magic, just plants that help. Word spread fast in the castle. The cook had a burn. Anna made cooling cream. A stable boy twisted his ankle. Anna brewed tea that eased the pain. Soon people from the village came. They knocked on the kitchen door. They asked quietly for the lady who could heal. Anna's hands worked with growing confidence. She learned by trying. She made mistakes. Yes, but she also made miracles. Old Sarah, who couldn't walk without pain. Anna's tea helped her stand straight. Young Tom, whose fever wouldn't break. Anna's cooling cloth brought him back from the edge. They brought gifts, eggs, fresh milk, flowers from their gardens. But more than gifts, they brought respect. Thank you, Lady Anna, they said. And they meant it. James watched from his study window. He saw the line of people who came for help. He saw Anna's face when she healed someone. How it glowed, how it came alive. One evening, he found her in the garden. She was picking herbs by moonlight. You're good at this, he said simply. Anna looked up. Her hands were dirty. Her dress was stained. But she felt proud. I like helping, she said. I like being useful. You are useful, James said. His voice was firm. You're more than useful. You're necessary. Necessary. Anna had never been necessary before. As she walked back to the castle, her limp seemed less heavy. Her shoulders seemed straighter. She was becoming someone new, someone strong. The evening that changed everything started with rain. Anna sat by the great fireplace, mending a torn shirt. James worked at his desk, reading papers by candlelight. Thunder rolled outside. Does the storm bother you? James asked suddenly. Anna looked up. No, I like the sound. It's honest. James set down his papers. Honest? Rain doesn't pretend to be something else. It just is what it is. Something in her voice made James study her face. You sound like you know about pretending. Anna's hands stopped moving. Should she tell him, risk showing weakness? But his eyes were kind, patient, waiting. My family, she began, then stopped. Started again. They wanted me to pretend I wasn't broken, to hide my limp, to act normal. But I could never be what they wanted. James was quiet for a long moment. Then he stood, walked to the window, looked out at the storm. My father wasn't the monster people think, he said softly. He was gentle, kind. He taught me to read, to ride, to be fair to our people. Anna set down her mending. This felt important. What happened to him? She asked. James's shoulders tensed. War came to our lands. Your family's soldiers came with it. They said my father was a traitor. They said he stole their gold. Anna's heart stopped. My family? It was lies, James continued. All lies. But lies with swords behind them are stronger than truth. They killed him in front of me. I was 12. The room went silent, except for rain and crackling fire. I'm sorry, Anna whispered. I'm so sorry. James turned around. His face was sad, but not angry. It wasn't you, Anna. You were probably sewing in your nursery while I watched my world burn. But still, my name. Your name is just letters, James said firmly. You are not your family, any more than I am the monster they call me. They looked at each other across the firelight. Two broken people, two survivors. Tell me about before, James said gently. Tell me about the real Anna. So she did. She told him about hiding in corners, about cruel words and cold looks, about feeling small and wrong and worthless. James listened without judging, without trying to fix, just listen. When she finished, he nodded slowly. They were fools, he said. Blind, cruel fools. How can you say that? Look at me. Beautiful, James interrupted. You're beautiful, Anna. Not despite your differences. Because of them. Because they made you kind. Made you real. Anna felt tears coming, but not sad tears. Something else. Something warm and bright and scary. I used to hate storms, James said quietly. They reminded me of that night, but tonight, with you here, they just sound like rain again. They sat in comfortable silence as the storm raged outside. But inside, by the fire, two hearts began to heal. The letter came on a Tuesday morning. Anna was in the kitchen, making herb bread, when James burst through the door. His face was white. His hands shook. What is it? Anna asked, fear creeping up her spine. James held up a piece of paper. Your brother. He's coming here. Tomorrow. Anna felt the world tilt. Michael, why? He says he needs to check on your welfare, to make sure you're being treated properly. Anna almost laughed. Michael caring about her welfare? Michael who used to trip her in hallways just to watch her fall. There's more, James said grimly. He's bringing friends, other lords. They want to evaluate our marriage. The bread dough slipped from Anna's hands, spluttered on the floor. They want to what? Anna, James took her flour-covered hands in his. There are rumors. Your family is spreading stories. They say I'm keeping you prisoner. They say I'm hurting you. That's not true. Anna's voice was fierce. You would never. I know, but they don't care about truth. They care about politics, about making me look bad. Anna sank onto a wooden stool. Her old life was reaching for her, trying to drag her back into shame and smallness. What do they really want? She whispered. James was quiet for too long. Then, they want to annul our marriage, to take you back, to marry you to someone else. Who? Lord Robert. He's old, rich, cruel, but he'll pay your father well for a young wife. Anna felt sick. Lord Robert. She remembered him from court gatherings, the way he looked at young girls, the way servants flinched when he passed. I won't go, she said suddenly. I won't leave here. James's eyes flashed with something fierce. You won't have to. This is your home now. I'll protect you. But Anna saw doubt in his face. Worry. What if her family had legal power? What if they could force her back? That night, Anna couldn't sleep. She paced her room, thinking, planning. Fear and anger battled in her chest. By morning, she had decided. She would not hide. She would not cower. When her brother came, she would face him. But first, she needed to know everything. James, she said over breakfast, tell me the whole truth about my family, about the war, about why you really agreed to marry me. James set down his cup, looked her in the eyes. Are you sure you want to know? Anna lifted her chin. I'm sure. So he told her. Everything. How her father had stolen lands that belonged to James's family. How they had killed innocents and called it justice. How this marriage was meant to be James's revenge, but became something else entirely. When he finished, Anna was quiet for a long time. "So I was supposed to be your prisoner," she said finally. "Yes, but instead, you became mine." James looked confused. "What do you mean?" Anna smiled, a real smile, strong and sure. "You fell in love with your captive, Lord James. That makes you the one who's truly trapped." For the first time in days, James smiled back. "Then I choose my prison gladly, Lady Anna." Outside, horses approached. Anna's old life was coming, but she was not the same girl who had left in tears. She was someone new, someone strong, someone worth fighting for. Michael arrived like a storm cloud, dark and threatening and full of noise. Anna watched from her window as his party rode into the courtyard. 5 men, all armed, all wearing her family's colors. Her brother looked the same, tall, handsome, cold eyes that saw people as things to be used. "Remember," James said behind her, "you don't have to see them alone. I'll be with you." Anna shook her head. "No, this is my fight." She walked down to the great hall, her back straight, her head high, her limp steady but sure. Michael was already seated at the head table, acting like he owned the place. When Anna entered, he looked her up and down, like she was livestock at market. "Sister," he said. His voice was silk over steel. "You look, well, different." "Hello, Michael." Anna took her place across from him. "What brings you so far from home?" Michael's friends watched like hungry wolves. Anna felt their eyes judging her dress, her hair, her worth. "We're concerned about you, Anna. Father received troubling reports. They say Lord James keeps you locked away, that you're not happy here." Anna almost laughed. "Who told you that? Does it matter? We're here to help, to take you home if needed." "This is my home." Michael's smile turned sharp. "Come now, sister, let's be honest. What kind of home is this? You limp around like a servant. You smell like kitchen herbs. Is this the life of a proper lady?" The old Anna would have shrunk, would have believed him, but the new Anna, she stood taller. "You're right," she said. "This isn't the life of a proper lady. It's the life of a useful woman, a woman who heals instead of hurts, who builds instead of destroys." Michael's face darkened. "You forget yourself, Anna. You forget what you are." "I know exactly what I am." Anna's voice rang clear. "I am Lord James's wife. I am this land's healer. I am respected and valued and loved." "Loved?" Michael laughed. "Look at you. Who could love a crippled—" "That's enough." James's voice cut through the hall like a sword. He stood in the doorway, tall, dark, dangerous. "You will not speak to my wife that way." Michael rose slowly. "Your wife? This broken thing? We're here to correct a mistake, Lord James, to offer you a better arrangement." "There is no arrangement to be made," James said firmly. "Anna stays here, by her choice, and mine." Michael's friends shifted in their seats. Hands moved toward sword hilts. "Perhaps," Michael said softly, "you need time to think, to consider what's best for everyone." "I've considered," Anna said. She stood, walked around the table, stood beside James. "I choose to stay. I choose him. I choose this life." Michael's face went red. "You ungrateful little—" "Careful." James stepped forward. "She is a lady, my lady. You will treat her with respect or leave my lands." The hall went silent. Tension crackled like lightning before thunder. Finally, Michael laughed. But it was an ugly sound. "Very well, keep your broken bride, James. But remember, some things can't stay hidden forever. Some debts always come due." He gathered his men and left. But his words lingered like smoke. That night, Anna and James stood on the castle walls, watching the road disappear into darkness. What did he mean, Anna asked, about debts coming due? James was quiet for a long moment. I don't know, but whatever comes, we'll face it together. Anna took his hand. Together, she agreed. Below them, the village lights twinkled like fallen stars, their people, their home, their life. Anna had faced her past and chosen her future, but she had a feeling this was just the beginning. 2 months after Michael's visit, everything changed. It started with a messenger, a young boy from the village running fast. His face was bright with excitement. My lady Anna, he called. Come quick to the village square." Anna and James exchanged looks. Good news or bad? With her family, it could be either. They rode down together, Anna on a gentle mare, James on his black stallion. As they got closer, Anna heard voices. Lots of voices. The village square was packed. Men, women, children, all holding flowers, all smiling. What's happening? Anna asked Mrs. Helen, who was grinning like a fool. They came, my lady, from the capital. Official men. They heard about you, about your healing. Anna felt confused. Heard what? Show her. Someone called. An old man stepped forward. He wore fine clothes, royal colors. He bowed deeply to Anna. Lady Anna, he said formally, I am Sir Thomas, representative of His Majesty the King. I bring royal recognition of your service to the people. Anna's mouth fell open. Royal recognition. Sir Thomas unrolled a scroll. His voice carried across the square. By order of His Majesty, Lady Anna of Westmore is hereby named Royal Healer of the Northern Lands. Her skills in medicine and her service to the people are recognized throughout the realm. The crowd erupted in cheers. Anna sat on her horse, stunned. There's more, Sir Thomas continued. Your work has caught the attention of the Royal College of Physicians. They request you train other healers to share your knowledge. James reached over and squeezed Anna's hand. His face glowed with pride. But the best part came next. Furthermore, Sir Thomas announced, the Crown wishes to set the record straight regarding certain rumors. Lady Anna's marriage to Lord James is recognized as legitimate and blessed. Any attempts to interfere with this union will be considered treason against the Crown. Anna felt tears streaming down her face. Not tears of sadness, tears of joy, of vindication, of triumph. The people cheered louder. Children threw flowers. Women wept with happiness. Speech! Speech! They called. Anna looked at James. He nodded encouragingly. She stood in her stirrups. Her voice carried clear and strong. Thank you. All of you. You gave me something I never had before. You gave me purpose. You gave me worth. You gave me a home. She paused, looked around at all the faces, rich and poor, young and old, all looking at her with love. I was once told I was broken, useless, a burden, but you taught me the truth. We are all broken in some way, but broken things can still be beautiful, still be useful, still be loved. The cheers were deafening. That evening, as celebrations continued in the village, Anna and James walked in their garden. The herbs she had planted were in full bloom. Are you happy? James asked softly. Anna considered. 6 months ago she was a rejected daughter, a throwaway bride, a broken girl with no future. Now she was a healer, a teacher, a wife, a woman respected and valued for who she truly was. More than happy, she said. I'm complete. James stopped walking, turned to face her. Anna, I need to tell you something. Her heart skipped. What? I love you, he said simply. Not because you're my wife, not because you heal people, but because you're you, because you're brave and kind and real, because you make me believe in good things again. Anna felt her world shift, settle into something perfect. I love you too, she whispered. You saved me, James. Not from my family, from myself. You showed me I was worth saving. They kissed under the starlight. Two broken souls, whole at last. In the distance, music drifted from the village. Their people were celebrating, their healer, their lady, their Anna. The girl who was once a burden had become a blessing. The prisoner had become free. The broken had become beautiful. 5 years later, Anna woke to sunlight and laughter. Through her window she saw children playing in the castle courtyard. Her children, James's children. Bright and healthy and free. Little Sarah had her father's dark hair and her mother's healing hands. At 3, she already knew which herbs helped tummy aches. Baby Thomas had James's serious eyes, but Anna's gentle smile. He was barely walking, but already trying to follow his sister everywhere. Good morning, my love. James's voice was warm honey. He sat on the bed's edge, already dressed for the day. Good morning, Anna stretched like a cat in sunshine. What's that sound? Your students are here, the new ones from the eastern villages. Anna smiled. The Royal Healing School had grown beyond her wildest dreams. Young men and women came from across the kingdom to learn her methods, to carry healing back to their own homes. And there's news, James continued. His eyes twinkled with mischief. Good news or interesting news? Both. Your brother Michael is getting married. Anna raised an eyebrow. Really? To whom? The daughter of his grain merchant. Apparently, she's practical, and her father controls the grain supply to their lands. Anna laughed. Michael, marrying for grain rights. How perfectly fitting. Are we invited? She asked, not really caring. We are, but I already sent our regrets. We're too busy that week. Busy with what? James grinned. The Harvest Festival. The new healing center dedication. And he paused dramatically. Dr. Margaret is coming from London. She wants to write a book about your work. Anna sat up straighter. Dr. Margaret was famous throughout Europe, a pioneer for women in medicine. She wants to write about me. She wants to write about the woman who proved that healing comes from the heart, not just the head. About the lady who showed that broken things can become beautiful. Anna felt that familiar warmth. The feeling of being valued, seen, loved. A knock at the door interrupted them. My lady? Mrs. Helen's voice. The students are ready for morning lessons. Coming, Anna called back. She dressed quickly in her simple blue gown, the one that was practical for herb work, comfortable for teaching, beautiful in its simplicity. As they walked to the teaching hall, Anna paused, looked around at her life. The castle walls were covered in climbing roses now. Her roses, gardens bloomed everywhere, healing gardens, teaching gardens, beauty for the sake of beauty gardens. Students filled the courtyards, eager young faces ready to learn, ready to carry healing back to their homes. In the distance, the village bustled with life. Healthy children played. Mothers worked without pain. Fathers stood straight and strong. James took her hand. Any regrets, my lady? Anna thought of the scared girl who had arrived here 5 years ago, broken, ashamed, certain she was worthless. That girl was gone. In her place stood a woman, a healer, a teacher, a mother, a wife, someone who mattered. No regrets, Anna said firmly. Only gratitude. They walked into the teaching hall together. Anna's voice rang clear as she began the day's lessons, teaching others to heal, to help, to see the beauty in broken things. Outside, birds sang in the roses. Children laughed in the gardens. Life bloomed everywhere. Anna's hands had touched. She had been her father's disappointment, her family's shame, a prisoner in an arranged marriage. But prisoners sometimes become queens, and broken things, when mended with love, become stronger than they were before. Anna was living proof. Every day, in every life she touched, in every heart she healed, the broken girl had become a blessing. The prisoner had found perfect freedom. And love. Love had conquered all. The morning sun rose cold over Whitmore Manor. Inside the grand house, harsh voices echoed through marble halls. "Look at her," Lady Whitmore said, her voice cut like ice, plain, awkward, hopeless. Sophia stood by the window. She was 22, the youngest daughter, the one they called flawed. Her sisters giggled behind silk fans. "She reads too much," Emma whispered. "No man wants a wife who thinks." "She talks too much," added Charlotte. "So bold, so improper." Their mother nodded. "She writes those silly notes, dreams of things beyond her reach." Sophia's father looked away. He could not meet her eyes. The shame felt too heavy. She tried so hard to please them, fixed her hair just right, wore the dresses they chose, spoke when spoken to, but still, always wrong. "You embarrass this family," her mother said. Each word was a dagger. "No decent man will have you." Sophia's heart broke a little more. She whispered to herself, "What is wrong with me?" Then came the punishment. The final blow. "We have found you a husband," Lady Whitmore announced. Her smile was cruel. "The Marquess of Greymore has agreed to marry you." Sophia's blood turned cold. The Marquess, he is widowed, scarred from war, desperate enough to take you. Her sisters laughed louder. "He will never want you," Emma said. "Not really." "You will be his burden," Charlotte added. "His shame." Their mother leaned close. "He does this from pity. Remember that." Sophia felt the walls closing in. Trapped, like a bird in a cage, too small. But deep inside, something stirred. A tiny spark of fight. She looked at her cruel family. She stood a little straighter. "I will endure this," she whispered to herself, "but I will not break." 3 days later, a black carriage came. Sophia left Whitmore Manor forever. She carried one small bag, her books, her secret poems. As the house grew smaller behind her, she made a promise. "I will find my worth, even if no one else can see it." The carriage rolled toward her new life, toward the unknown Marcus, toward whatever fate waited. But Sophia did not know her story was just beginning. Adrian Blackwood stood at his window, the Marquess of Greymore, tall, dark hair, eyes like winter storms. A scar ran down the left side of his face, from temple to jaw, a gift from the war. People whispered about him, called him broken, mad, dangerous. They were wrong. Adrian was not cruel. He was careful. He spoke few words because words had power. They could hurt. He knew about hurt. The war took much from him. Friends. Peace of mind. His first wife, she died while he fought far away. Men at his club sneered. "Poor Greymore," they said. "Half a man now. Lost his nerve on the battlefield." Others whispered. "Came home. Different. Let them talk." Adrian did not care about their words. But he cared about justice. When Lord Whitmore came with his offer, Adrian listened. A marriage. A plain daughter. Unwanted. She brings no beauty, Whitmore said. No skills. But her dowry is fair. Adrian studied the man, saw the cold eyes, the cruel mouth. Why do you wish to be rid of her? Adrian asked. Whitmore shifted. She is difficult, talks too much, reads books, dreams above her station. Adrian smiled inside. She sounded interesting. That night he made his choice. Not for money, not for duty, for her. He heard the whispers. How they mocked her, called her plain, worthless. Adrian knew what it felt like to be called broken, to have people look away in disgust. She needed protection. He could give that. I accept, he told Whitmore. Now she was coming. This unwanted daughter. This woman, they said, was flawed. Adrian touched his scar. He thought of his empty house, his quiet days. Maybe they could heal each other. He did not expect love. Love was for fairy tales, but kindness, respect, peace. These things were possible. The carriage would arrive soon. Adrian straightened his jacket, hid his hope. He would be gentle with her, patient. She had suffered enough cruelty. Welcome home, Sophia, he whispered to the empty room. The carriage stopped. Sophia's hands shook as the door opened. Greymore House rose before her. Stone and ivy, windows like watching eyes. A man stepped forward, tall, dressed in black. Then she saw it. The scar. Her breath caught. She looked away fast. Too fast. He would think her rude, disgusted, just like everyone else who saw damaged things. Lady Sophia, his voice was soft, calm. Welcome. She forced herself to look up. Met his eyes. They were kind. This surprised her. You must be tired, Adrian said. The journey was long. Yes, my lord, her voice barely whispered. He studied her face. No disgust there, just sadness, fear. You are safe here, he said gently. I hope you will be happy. Sophia blinked. Happy? No one cared if she was happy. A servant took her bag. Adrian offered his arm. Shall we? His touch was careful, respectful, not demanding. They walked through grand halls, rich carpets, painted walls. This will be your home now, Adrian said. Change whatever you wish. It needs a woman's touch. Another surprise. Permission to change things, to matter. Dinner felt strange. The dining room was huge. Just the two of them at a table for 12. Long silences stretched between them. Sophia ate little, watched him from under her lashes. He cut his meat with careful movements. The scar pulled when he chewed, but his manners were perfect. Gentle. Do you read? He asked suddenly. Oh, Sophia dropped her fork. Yes. Too much, they say. They? My family. They say it is improper for ladies. Adrian's eyes darkened. What do you enjoy reading? Sophia hesitated. Then a tiny spark of rebellion. Poetry, history, sometimes novels. A smile touched his lips. I have a large library. Use it freely. Her heart jumped. Truly, truly. Oh. That night, alone in her new room, Sophia whispered to her reflection, he is not as they said, not cruel, not mad. She touched the place where he had helped her from the carriage. So gentle. Maybe, she breathed, maybe this will not be so terrible. For the first time in years, she fell asleep without crying. In his room down the hall, Adrian smiled into the darkness. She was not plain. Her eyes held intelligence, spirit. They had been blind. Her family, completely blind. Morning light filled Sophia's new room, soft, warm, so different from home. She dressed carefully, went downstairs with quiet steps. The breakfast room was empty, but a note waited by her plate. "Good morning. I hope you slept well. The rose garden needs tending, if you would enjoy that." Sophia smiled, her first real smile in months. She found the garden behind the house. Roses everywhere, red, pink, white, but overgrown. Forgot, like me, she thought. She worked all morning, cut dead blooms, pulled weeds. Her hands grew dirty, her dress stained. She did not care. At lunch, another note waited. "Thank you for the roses on my desk. They brightened my study." Sophia's cheeks warmed. He noticed, he cared. She wrote back, carefully, "I am glad you liked them. The garden is beautiful. It just needed attention." Days passed like this. Small notes, kind words. Adrian never demanded anything, never criticized, never made her feel small. Slowly, Sophia began to explore. She helped cook with dinner, learned to make bread. The servants smiled at her efforts. "You have gentle hands, my lady," cook said. "Good for healing work." Healing? Sophia had never thought of herself as a healer, but when young Tom hurt his hand, she cleaned the cut, wrapped it carefully. He thanked her with bright eyes. "You fixed it," he said. "Fixed it. Fixed something." The words echoed in her heart. She started visiting the village, brought soup to sick families, read stories to children who could not read themselves. "You have such a lovely voice," old Mrs. Baker said. Soothing, lovely voice, not too loud, not improper. Lovely. Each kindness grew her confidence. Each smile she earned made her stand taller. At dinner, Adrian listened to her stories about the village, the people, her small adventures. He never looked bored, never told her to be quiet. "You are making a difference," he said one evening. Sophia set down her wine glass. "Am I?" "The village children ask for you by name. Mrs. Baker says you saved her grandson from fever. I just brought willow bark tea. You cared. You acted. That is everything." That night, Sophia looked in her mirror again. Something had changed. Her eyes held light now. Her shoulders sat straighter. She was becoming someone new, someone she actually liked. And Adrian was part of that change. He saw her value when no one else could. He gave her space to grow. Maybe this strange marriage could become something real, something good. The thought both thrilled and terrified her. 3 weeks into her new life, Sophia discovered the library. Floor-to-ceiling books, thousands of them. Poetry, history, science, everything. She ran her fingers along the spines. So much knowledge, so much wonder. "Find anything interesting?" Adrian's voice came from behind her. She turned. He stood in the doorway watching her with warm eyes. "Everything," she breathed. "How do you choose?" He stepped closer, pulled a slim volume from the shelf. "Start with this, Shakespeare's sonnets. Read them aloud. Poetry is meant to be heard." Night. She took the book. Their fingers brushed. A spark ran up her arm. Adrian felt it too. His eyes darkened, but he stepped back. "I will leave you to explore." "Wait." The word escaped before she could stop it. He paused. Could you recommend more?" "I trust your judgment." A smile spread across his face. The first real smile she had seen. "I would be honored." They met in the library each evening. Adrian would suggest books. Sophia would share what she learned. "Listen to this," she said one night. She read aloud from a book of medicine. "Willow bark contains a substance that reduces fever and pain. You have been using that in the village." Adrian noted. "Yes, but I did not know why it worked. Now I understand." "Knowledge gives power," Adrian said. "Understanding gives confidence." Sophia looked up from the page. "Is that why you read so much?" "Partly, but mostly I enjoy learning. Growing, becoming more than I was." "Your family supported this?" Adrian's face grew shadowed. "No, they wanted a soldier. Nothing more." Understanding passed between them. Both had families who tried to make them small, different, limited. "We are alike," Sophia said softly. "Yes, we are." The connection grew stronger each day. Conversations lasted longer. Silences became comfortable. Sophia began to share her writing. Small poems, observations about village life. Adrian read each one carefully, seriously. "You have talent," he said. "Real talent. These should be published." "Published?" Sophia laughed. "Ladies do not publish books." "Some do, and should." He meant it. She could see the belief in his eyes. For the first time, Sophia imagined a future where her words mattered, where her thoughts had value. One morning she woke with new energy, new purpose. She would write something important, something that helped people, a guide to healing herbs, written simply so anyone could use it. She would combine her village work with her reading, create something useful. The idea excited her, made her feel alive. At breakfast, she shared her plan with Adrian. "Brilliant," he said immediately. "I will help however I can." "You do not think it too bold, too improper?" "I think it is exactly what the world needs, and exactly what you were meant to do." His faith in her was like sunlight, warm, life-giving. Sophia smiled, really smiled. She was becoming the woman she was always meant to be. 2 months passed. Autumn came to Greymore House. Sophia worked on her herb guide each morning, visited the village each afternoon, spent evenings with Adrian in the library. A routine, a life, a partnership. But something else was growing. Something neither expected. It started small. The way Adrian's eyes lingered on her face when she laughed. How Sophia's pulse jumped when he helped her with her cloak. Touches that lasted too long. Conversations that went too deep. They were falling in love. Both fought it. This was an arrangement, a practical marriage. Love was not part of the bargain. But hearts rarely listen to logic. The storm came on a wild October night. Rain lashed the windows, wind howled through the trees. Sophia sat by the fire in the drawing room, writing. Adrian read nearby. Thunder crashed. The lights flickered. Sophia's pen slipped. Ink splattered across her page. "Oh no," she whispered. Hours of work ruined. "What happened?" Adrian was beside her in an instant. "My writing." The storm startled me, and tears threatened. Adrian knelt by her chair, studied the damaged page. "Look here," he said gently. "Most of it is fine. We can copy the clean parts. Start fresh with the rest. If you will let me help." Fine. They worked side by side. Adrian's handwriting was careful, neat. He copied her words with reverence. "You write beautifully," he said. "These instructions could save lives." "Do you really think so?" "I know so." Their eyes met. "Hell." Sophia, Adrian whispered, "I must tell you something." "What?" "This marriage, it has become more than I expected, more than I dared hope." Her heart stopped. More? I care for you deeply, but I do not wish to pressure you. If you prefer things as they are. No, the word burst out. I mean, I care for you too. So much it frightens me. Why? Relief flooded Adrian's face. You do? Yes. You are nothing like they said. Nothing like I feared. You are wonderful. I am scarred, broken in ways you cannot see. Sophia reached up, touched the scar on his face with gentle fingers. We are all scarred, but scars show we survived. We endured. We are stronger for them. Adrian caught her hand, pressed it to his cheek. How did I find you? He whispered. How did I get so lucky? We found each other, two broken people becoming whole. He kissed her then, soft, sweet, full of promise. When they broke apart, both were breathless. I love you, Adrian said. I did not plan to, but I do. I love you too, Sophia whispered. My heart chose you before my mind even knew. Outside, the storm raged on, but inside, by the warm fire, two souls had found their home. The marriage of convenience had become something beautiful, something real, something neither would ever regret. Love bloomed through winter. Sophia and Adrian grew closer each day. But happiness never lasts unchallenged. The letter came on a cold February morning, sealed with the Whitmore family crest. Sophia's blood chilled when she saw it. This, my ungrateful daughter, her mother wrote. London society whispers about your strange marriage. They say the Marquess has gone mad, that you have bewitched him somehow. You will return home immediately. End this farce. We have found you a proper husband, a man who knows your true worth. If you refuse, we will expose the Marquess's condition publicly. His war madness, his violent episodes. Society will shun him completely. You have 3 days to decide. Sophia's hands shook. The letter fell to the floor. Adrian found her there an hour later, pale, trembling. What is wrong? He pulled her into his arms. They want me back, she whispered. My family. They threaten to hurt you if I do not come. Adrian's jaw tightened. What do they threaten? Sophia could not meet his eyes. They say they will tell everyone about your war experiences. Make society believe you are unstable. Silence stretched between them. Heavy, painful. There is something you should know, Adrian said quietly, about my time in the war. Sophia looked up. What? I did suffer difficulties. After particularly violent battles, I would lose time, forget where I was, who I was fighting. Her heart ached for him. That does not make you mad. It makes you human. Society would not see it that way. If your mother spreads these rumors, then we will face them together. Adrian shook his head. I will not let you suffer for my weakness. It is not weakness. Sophia's voice rose. You fought for your country. You saw terrible things. You came home changed, but not broken. Adrian pulled away from her, walked to the window. Perhaps your mother is right. Perhaps you would be better with someone else. No. Sophia stood, walked to him, placed her hands on his shoulders. Look at me. He turned. His eyes were full of pain. I choose you, Sophia said firmly. Not because I have to, because I want to, because you are the best man I have ever known. Your family will destroy us both. Then let them try. I am not the same weak girl who left their house. I am stronger now because of you, because of this life we have built. A knock came at the door. The butler entered. My lord, my lady, there are visitors, Lord and Lady Whitmore. They, insisted on seeing you immediately. Sophia's stomach dropped. They are here. Adrian straightened. The soldier in him emerged. Show them to the drawing room. We will be down shortly. When the butler left, Adrian took Sophia's hands. Are you ready for this? With you beside me, I am ready for anything. Then let us go face your demons together. They walked downstairs hand in hand. Two people in love, preparing for battle. Neither knew this confrontation would change everything, but both knew they would face it as one. The drawing room felt cold when they entered. Lord and Lady Whitmore sat stiffly on the sofa. Emma and Charlotte flanked them like vultures. Sophia's old life, her old fears, all waiting to drag her back. Sophia, Lady Whitmore's voice cut like ice. You look different. Hello, Mother. Sophia's voice was steady, strong. Adrian moved slightly in front of her, protective, ready. We have come to collect you, Lord Whitmore announced. This experiment has gone on long enough. Experiment? Adrian's voice was dangerously quiet. This marriage, Emma said with a cruel smile. Everyone knows you cannot possibly want her. Not really. She has clearly confused you, Charlotte added. Poor man. The war damage makes you susceptible. Sophia felt the old shame rising. The old voice that said they were right, that she was worthless. But then Adrian's hand found hers, squeezed gently. His touch reminded her she was not that girl anymore. I am not confused, Adrian said calmly. I am blessed. Your daughter is the finest woman I have ever known. Lady Whitmore laughed. Please, we know what she is. Plain, difficult, unmarriageable. You are wrong, Sophia said. Her voice rang clear, about everything. Her family turned to stare. This was not the meek girl they remembered. I am not plain, Sophia continued. I am thoughtful. I am not difficult. I am intelligent. I am not unmarriageable. I am married to a wonderful man who values me. Sophia, her mother warned, do not make this worse for yourself. Worse? Sophia stepped forward. How could it be worse than living in your house, being told daily that I am worthless, being made to feel ashamed of my mind, my voice, my dreams? You belong with your family, her father said weakly. No, Sophia replied firmly. I belong where I am loved, where I am valued, where I am free to be myself. This man will tire of you, Emma said viciously. Men like him do not keep women like you. Adrian's eyes flashed. Enough. His voice filled the room. Command, authority, power. You will not speak of my wife that way, in my house, or anywhere else. Your wife? Charlotte laughed. She is brilliant, Adrian interrupted. She heals the sick in our village. She writes with wisdom and grace. She has transformed this house with her warmth and kindness. He turned to Sophia. Love shone in his eyes. She is everything I never dared hope for, and I will not allow anyone to diminish her, ever. Sophia's heart soared. He defended her, claimed her, chose her, in front of everyone who had ever made her feel small. Furthermore, Adrian continued, turning back to her family, if you attempt to spread lies about my character or my marriage, I will respond through my solicitors. Slander carries serious consequences. Lord Whitmore's face went red. You dare threaten us. I protect what is mine, and Sophia is mine, as I am hers, by choice, by love, by sacred vow. This is ridiculous, Lady Whitmore snapped. Sophia, you will come home. Now. Sophia looked at each of them. These people who had shaped her childhood with cruelty, they seemed smaller now, meaner, petty. She felt sorry for them. No, mother, I will not. You have no choice. I have every choice. I am a grown woman, a married woman. I choose to stay with my husband. He does not really want you, Emma said desperately. No one could. Sophia smiled. Calm, certain. He does want me, and I want him. We love each other. Something you would not understand. Adrian squeezed her hand. Pride radiated from him. I think this visit is over, he said politely. Butler, please show my guests out. This is not finished, Lady Whitmore hissed as they were led away. Yes, Sophia called after them. It is. When the door closed, Sophia collapsed into Adrian's arms. Did I really do that? She whispered. You were magnificent, he murmured into her hair. Absolutely magnificent. I was terrified. You were brave. There is a difference. She pulled back to look at him. Thank you for defending me, for believing in me. Thank you for choosing me, for staying, for becoming the woman you were meant to be. They held each other close. Two warriors after battle. They had won. Together. And nothing would ever be the same. Spring came early that year. As if the world itself celebrated Sophia's victory. News travelled fast through society. The Marquess of Greymore had publicly defended his wife, declared his love, silenced her critics. Some whispered, but many smiled. The village loved their story. The plain girl who bloomed, the scarred lord who healed. Sophia's herb guide was finished. Adrian arranged for publication through his connections. A lady's guide to healing herbs appeared in bookshops across London. It sold wonderfully. Letters came from grateful readers, women who had helped their families with Sophia's simple instructions. You are helping people across England, Adrian said proudly. Your knowledge, your gift. Sophia could hardly believe it. Her words, her work, making a difference. She was an author now, a healer, a teacher, everything her family said she could never be. The Countess of Pembroke visited in May, an old friend of Adrian's late mother. I had to meet this remarkable wife, she announced. Society speaks of nothing else. Sophia served tea nervously. Great ladies still intimidated her. Sometimes. Tell me about your book, my dear, the Countess said. Sophia explained her work, her research, her hopes to write more guides. The Countess listened carefully, asked thoughtful questions. Brilliant, she declared finally. Absolutely brilliant. You must come to London. Meet my literary circle, share your knowledge. London, Sophia's eyes widened. Yes, we need more women like you. Intelligent, practical, unafraid to use their minds. Adrian smiled. What do you think, my love? Sophia looked at him. This man who had given her everything, confidence, love, purpose. I think, yes. I would like that very much. They went to London in June, stayed in Adrian's townhouse. Society had changed its mind about them. The love story had captured imaginations. Invitations poured in. Everyone wanted to meet the Marchioness, who wrote books. At parties, ladies crowded around Sophia, asked about her herbs, her writing, her happiness. How did you know he loved you? Young Miss Peters asked shyly. Sophia smiled. He saw my value when I could not see it myself. He gave me space to grow, and he never tried to make me smaller to fit his expectations. That is real love, the girl breathed. Yes, it is. Adrian watched from across the room, his wife surrounded by admirers, respected, celebrated. She glowed, with confidence now, spoke with authority, laughed with genuine joy. This was the woman he had seen hidden inside the frightened girl who arrived at his door. "You look pleased with yourself," his friend Marcus observed. "I am pleased with her," Adrian replied. "She has exceeded every dream I dared to have. Society called you mad for marrying her. Society was blind, as was her family, but not I. No, you saw clearly and loved wisely." Adrian nodded. "We saved each other, I think. She healed my heart. I gave her wings." That night, in their quiet bedroom, Sophia brushed her hair before the mirror. Adrian watched from the doorway. Still amazed, this brilliant woman was his. "What are you thinking?" she asked, catching his reflection. "That I love you more each day. That our beginning was difficult, but our future is limitless." She turned to face him. "Do you ever regret it, taking a chance on the plain Whitmore daughter?" "Never." He crossed to her, took her face in his hands. "You were never plain. You were a diamond covered in dust. All you needed was someone to see your true sparkle. And you did. From the very first day." They kissed softly, sweetly. Two souls who had found their perfect match. Outside, London sparkled in the darkness, but their love shone brighter than any city lights. Tomorrow would bring new adventures, new challenges, new joys. But tonight, they were simply happy, simply home. 5 years later, autumn painted the grounds of Greymore House in gold and crimson. The gardens bloomed under careful tending. The house rang with laughter. Sophia walked the halls with quiet confidence. The Marchioness of Greymore. Author, healer, mother. In her arms, baby William gurgled happily. Dark hair like his father, bright eyes like his mother. "Safe. There you are." Adrian appeared in the doorway of the nursery. Still handsome, still scarred, still the love of her life. "He was fussy," Sophia explained, "but he is settling now." Adrian crossed to them, kissed his son's forehead, then his wife's lips. "The carriage is here," he said. "Are you ready?" Today was special. The village school dedication, built with proceeds from Sophia's books. She had written 3 more guides, each more successful than the last. Women across Europe used her healing methods now. A Lady's Guide to Childbirth had been particularly popular. Written after William's birth, it helped countless mothers. They rode through the village together. People waved from doorways. Children ran alongside the carriage. "Lady Sophia, Lord Adrian," they called out happily. At the school, a small crowd had gathered. The local vicar prepared for the ceremony. "My lord, my lady," he said warmly, "thank you for this gift to our children. Education should be available to all." Sophia replied, "Knowledge changes lives." She thought of herself at 22, frightened, ashamed, convinced she had nothing to offer. Now she helped build schools, wrote books that healed, raised a son who would know his worth. Little Margaret stepped forward. The baker's daughter, shy, bookish, reminded Sophia of herself. "My lady," she whispered, I want to write books someday, like you do." Sophia knelt down, looked into the girl's earnest eyes. "Then you will," she said firmly. "Read everything you can. Ask questions. Never let anyone tell you that you are too much, too bold, too different. Really, really, the world needs voices like yours, minds like yours. Promise me you will use your gifts." "I promise." The girl ran back to her parents, glowing with new purpose. Adrian touched Sophia's shoulder. "Another life changed," he murmured. "I hope so." The ceremony concluded. The school was officially open. As they prepared to leave, an older woman approached, well-dressed. familiar. Emma, Sophia's sister. Sophia stiffened slightly. They had not spoken since that terrible day 5 years ago. "Sophia," Emma said quietly, "might I speak with you?" Adrian moved closer. Protective, but Sophia nodded. "Of course." Emma looked older, tired, unhappy lines around her eyes. I wanted to say I was wrong about you, about everything." Sophia blinked in surprise. "You have made something beautiful of your life," Emma continued. "Something meaningful. I have not been so fortunate. Emma, my husband is cruel, cold. I married for title and money, as mother wished. But I am miserable." Sophia's heart ached for her sister. "Despite everything, I am sorry. Seeing you today, so confident, so loved, I realize what I missed, what I threw away when I mocked your dreams." Tears gathered in Emma's eyes. Could you ever forgive me? Yo.
Sophia looked at her sister. This woman, who had once been so cruel, now broken by the very system that had tried to break Sophia.
"Of course I forgive you," she said softly. "We were all trapped by their expectations. I was just lucky enough to escape." "Not lucky," Emma said. "Brave. You were always braver than the rest of us." They embraced tentatively, old hurts healing slowly. "If you ever need help," Sophia said, "a place to stay, someone to talk to, you are always welcome at Greymore House." Emma smiled through her tears. "Thank you. That means everything." On the ride home, Adrian held Sophia's hand. "That was generous of you," he said. "She is my sister. Family should not be given up on lightly, even when they hurt us. Especially then, hurt people, but loved people can heal." Adrian raised her hand to his lips. "Have I told you lately that you are extraordinary? Only every day. Good. I plan to continue for the next 50 years. Sophia laughed. "Only 50? Well, we will see how we feel after that." They arrived home as the sun set. The house glowed with warm light. Servants bustled about preparing dinner. In the library, Sophia's latest manuscript waited. A Lady's Guide to Happiness, her most personal work yet. All about finding worth in a world that tried to diminish women. About love that heals rather than harms. About building the life you truly want. She had lived every word. As they settled in the drawing room, baby William sleeping peacefully, Sophia reflected on her journey. From the plain, unwanted daughter to this life, this love, this purpose. "What are you thinking about?" Adrian asked. "Beginnings," she said. "How the worst day of my life, leaving my family's house, became the best thing that ever happened to me. Not the worst day, the first day of your real life." "Yes, my real life." She looked around their home, at her husband reading by the fire, at their son dreaming in his cradle, at her books on the shelves, at the evidence of their love everywhere. This was what happily ever after looked like, not perfect, but real, earned, treasured, and it was more beautiful than any fairy tale. Words. Outside, snow began to fall, the first of winter, but inside, all was warmth and light and love. Sophia picked up her pen. There was more work to do, more women to help, more stories to tell. But for now, this moment was enough. This life was enough. She was enough. Finally, completely, joyfully enough.